Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Read, and welcome to my January reading vlog. I just thought I'd start this vlog because I have been reading a little bit this morning. I'm reading my first book of the year, Love in Colour by Bolu Babalola, and this is a short story collection subverting traditional mythical love stories from around the world, and it is excellent so far. I'm on page 91. I'll let you know once I've read more. Hello, so it's Tuesday now and I haven't updated a whole lot, but in terms of my physical read, I am on, let me just get it out, page 133, and I am still really enjoying this, but I'm not rushing it. I'm just reading a story every now and again and I'm really enjoying doing that. I finished off the I Dare You by Isla Madeline Mills. I finished that. I finished I Dare You and I gave it 3 stars, a straight 3 stars, because although I really liked the characters, I really liked their little relationship in the first one, that one in particular, I found it was quite heavy on the slut shaming, the elements. I think there was elements of like fat phobia, not in terms of like other people, but like internalized, but the slut shaming was the main problem for me. I couldn't really like the character. Oh, and it was really heavy on the not like other girls business, which I didn't like, but it wasn't like the most, like it wasn't the worst I've ever read, but it took off a lot of enjoyment for me, and the writing was a bit cheesy, which is a shame because I really liked the 2 Isla Madden Mills I read last year. I'm not sure if these were published earlier or later, I don't know. But I do really like the hockey university setting, and I do get so up in the romance, and the smut scenes are excellent because she writes really good smut, and the smut seems to be more on a level playing field than the rest of the relationships. So I thought I'd try the second one, and I'm having much the same feelings. It's probably slightly more increased in this one because this main character is virgin, and that is often like it bores me, not because of somebody not wanting to have sex, it's just the way they're spoken about. But to be fair, it doesn't seem to be too bad. She's not like she's not the typical virgin caricature. She's, you know, quite well versed. She's quite interested in sex, as far as things go. It's a little bit heavy on the Twilight thing, the pop culture Twilight business, and it's like, oh, could you not pick something better? But you know, the negatives do outweigh the fact that it takes my mind off being stressed when I'm reading it, and you know, at its core, I do like it. I do like this one slightly less. What's annoying about it is I find this a lot in romance books, is that you'll have a side character who displays certain characteristics in one of the first books in the series, and then when it's their turn later on in the series, their character completely evolves, and you don't see that side of them. So for example, the second book, which I'm currently reading, which is I Dare You, Riker, I think his name is best friends with Maverick, and Maverick is the main male character in the first book, and they're best friends. And in the first book, Riker is really like soppy, and he's like a bit like of a mum. They keep calling him the mum, and he's like the mum, like warrior. Like he worries a lot about things, and he's really soft. And in this, he's very hard, and he's very hard with everyone around him, and you barely see his relationship with Maverick. So it's like, where's that character gone? Obviously, there is an element with where he's not like that with everyone, which is understandable, but he's not like it with anyone. And the main character, it doesn't display in the same ways, and I was just hoping to have a little bit more softness from him in regards to the main character. I suppose he is, but it just doesn't feel the same. It feels like a different character, which just seems to happen a little bit too often and does really wind me up. But yeah, I'm reading that, and you know, it's fun. It's, you know, I'm just like, obviously acknowledging the, I'm going to do a video about this, I think. I'm talking about romance and my whole romance thing. is that there are some romances that I think are so good and so excellent, and some of them I just read because I want to relax. Like I'm listening to this audiobook whilst working because I can relax. It's helping me not be so stressed, and I think that is just something that, yeah, that's how it works. So I'll update you once I've read more. I'm going to sit down and talk with you soon about finishing up the Wayland University series, but I'm about to get in the bath and hopefully finish off Love in Colour. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you. So let's do a mid-week wrap-up for this vlog then, because I haven't spoken to you a whole lot. So I have now finished 5 books. The first 4 books which I finished were I Bet You, I Dare You, I Hate You, and I Promise You, from the Wayland University series by Ilsa Madam Mills. I always want to call it Isla, but it's not spelt the right way to be Isla, so I think it's Ilsa Madam Mills. Who I read a couple of romance books from last year, which I really enjoyed. These ones were a little bit disappointing to me. The first 2 were like a low, barely there 3 stars. I enjoyed them, but there was too much internalized slut shaming and things like that for me. I just not good, wasn't good. But the romances was like fine, fun, a bit boring. The second 2 were more fun. The third one was maybe my favourite. It had the best smut. And it was like but the last one was the best in terms of characters. And like I could kind of see, like, I think the ones that I had read from her previously had been her more recent stuff. So I think that her stuff is a little bit more, it's not as full on the slut shaming, the sexism, things like that. But it's not like intolerable, otherwise I wouldn't have continued reading them. And they still had like all the things that I really wanted from these romances. So I did carry on reading them and enjoy them. But I'm going to do a whole video about romance and like how I feel about the problematic elements of them, because like a video essay, if that's what you want to call it. Because like I want my like boundaries to be clear so you know when I'm reviewing romances, like, not that it matters, like it's literally my personal opinion, like, but I don't, you know, I just want that to be clear. And then also today, this afternoon, I finished Love in Colour by Bolu Babalola, and this is a short story collection of love stories across all different mythologies and mythical stories, and she's subverted some of them extremely, and some of them are just sort of like more retellings, and then a couple of new tellings in her style, and I am obsessed with this. So I actually rated this, and I rate this 5 stars. So I've been using CallPal quite strictly this year, and this came up like 3-4 points away from a 5 star, and I overrode it and tweaked it to make it a 5 star because I know in my heart that this is a 5 star. So yeah, that's the vibe I got from it. There are some beautiful, beautiful, amazing stories in here, and I love the way that some of them were so good, and I particularly liked, Psyche, Atem, I loved Yar, Nefertiti, Nayli, Xinu, Thisbe, I'm listing half of the tales in here, but it was so beautiful the way it was written. It was so capturing, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. And if it's my first Be Sureathon prompt for Team Mirror, and that is POC, author or rep, and that's what we've got here, and I'm really excited. I really loved it. I thought it was really good, and I'm quite glad I didn't rush through it. It was going to be my first read of the year, but I decided to sort of take it a little bit more slowly, and I really enjoyed the way I read it, and I feel like the stories are going to stick with me. They may not, but I'm happy with them. I'm happy. I also started listening to the audiobook of Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton, which is about a person who is the last of her kind. She's like a magical being, and basically she meets like a fairy, and he basically, it's a fantasy romance. That's all. I'm just gonna put it's a fantasy romance. It's more than she bargained for type situ. Good morning. It is Saturday now, and I didn't actually read anything last night, but today I'm going to have a really jam-packed day. So what's going to happen is now I'm going to do some yoga, because I'm doing 30 days of yoga for Yoga with Adrian. I don't know if I mentioned that in this video already. I'm going to do some yoga, then I'm going to get dressed, and I want to do some reading, I want to do some scrapbooking. I need to... or maybe think about scrapbooking. I might leave that to tomorrow, I'm not sure. You want to do some reading. I want to do some like house stuff, like looking for houses stuff. I might do that on Monday, I'm not sure. Basically, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yes, I've got a few things that I want to do. Potentially film some videos, edit videos, things like that. But what I'm going to start with, doing my yoga, getting dressed. And later on this afternoon, I'm going to see my dad because it's his birthday today. So I'll be going to see him and having dinner there with my mum and dad. So yeah, that's my plan. And yeah, I'll speak to you once I'm actually doing something today. So it's Sunday, and I thought I'd let you know. Let's take these off because... And I haven't actually started Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong yet. I just haven't had the time, to be honest. Something came up yesterday which meant that I needed to... basically I just needed to run out and do an errand, which is... Yeah, and then it was my dad's birthday, spent the whole evening with my dad, went to bed, and then had a really late night, couldn't sleep, because of said errand, and how, like, it was just playing on my mind. And then woke up this morning, had a lazy morning, did some yoga, had some like life admin to do, again, more life admin and errands. And whilst I've been doing that, I've been listening to an audiobook, and I had this audiobook and I did listen to it for a bit last year, and that is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, Brian Byrne, I'm not sure. And if you've not heard of this, it's like the number 1 self-help book on like manifestation and law of attraction. And I picked it up on audiobooks.com when I was subscribed to them last year, and just to to see what it was all about, because it's like it's one of the best-selling books in the world, and like everybody loves it, everybody loves The Secret. And I knew it was about law of attraction, I knew it was about manifestation, I knew those things. However, I just wanted to know more. I was interested. Some bits were really interesting, and some bits were not. Some bits are a little bit mumbo jumbo. And then I never finished it. And this year, one of my goals in my 2022 goals is more about like my mental health and like looking after myself. And I decided to pick it back up, not in the sense that it's difficult, because some of it is complete bullshit. Like some of it is just ridiculous, and it's not like akin to my beliefs at all, and gives me the same feeling as this... Oh, it's playing now, one sec. It gives me the same feelings as this whole Molly-Mae we've all got same 24 hours in a day type business. If you're not in the UK, then just an influencer who shot to fame because of Love Island, who is now a CEO of a fast fashion brand in the UK, has said that everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, and basically, you know, if you work hard enough, you can have anything, which, like, is the sense that, you know, sometimes if you work hard, you can have anything, but that's not always the case. And like, there's a lot of caveats to that, and she acknowledged the caveats in her statement, but proceeded to push it. It's very complex, and it's very nuanced conversation, which is not like the point of this channel. But just to say that this lacks a lot of nuance in those areas. But I think the reason I'm still listening to it is A, because I already owned it, and B, I think sometimes the reminders that you can control your thinking and the way, like, you can manifest certain things into your life in terms of like your good thoughts, your positive thoughts, your behaviours, in reacting in that way. And I think I'm viewing it as more of like an anxiety and mental health kind of viewpoint, not like, oh, if I think that I don't get anxious at all, I'll never get anxious again, but more that, like, in a way that, like, just a reminder, like, sometimes it's just somebody telling you in this format, not, you know, just keep hold of those negative thoughts. You know, you can't control of your thoughts and things like this. It's quite an interesting sort of way of thinking, and I am sort of like more coming around to the idea that I need to be like use manifestation a little bit more, because sometimes I'm a very visual person. I visualize everything, but then I think I can't visualize that because I'll be disappointed if it doesn't happen, things like that. And I think I'm just trying to reroute, like, I'm just trying to add a little bit of perspective. But yeah, 100%, some of it's bullshit. Like I genuinely believe the idea that you can cure, you know, when it intersects with science, and, you know, the idea that not everybody's in a, I think it can be applied, but it cannot be applied to everything, and there are certain situations and certain people who are suffering with certain things that cannot, it's not gonna alleviate their issues. So I'm very aware of that, so I'm listening to that, do some sorting out, and I might go for a walk and continue to listen to it, because it's a nice sunny day and I just want to go for a nice walk and see what's out in the sunshine. But I will speak to you when I either finish. I imagine I'll try and finish this today. I don't want to carry it on anymore, but you know me, I can listen on a nice fast speed. And I'm going to stop talking to you about manifestation, because yeah, but some of it's bullshit, some of it's not, some of it's interesting, but we'll see. This is just a Lizzie from much later, who is editing this vlog, closing off to say, that's it, that's what I did. I finished The Secret, and my thoughts on it were much the same as what I said in the earlier video. I think I gave like 2.5 or 3 stars, because the things that were so negative about it, like the negative comments and the way they perceive people with illness, or different sized bodies, is just not suitable. But I did take away some elements from it which I found really helpful, in terms of like anxiety and mental health. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it. I just already had it because I was interested. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.